Welcome students of Form 1, 1A, and of course 1B. And today we are still talking about Chapter 2, Paragraph 1 about social interaction. And today's topic will be a continuation of Part 2 of Part 1. We already talked about norms, and today we're going to talk about laws. And later in Part 3, we're going to talk about added values, valorna. Yeah. So in this video, we're going to talk about laws, but we're also going to call back a little bit about norms and law, conformity actually. So also going to talk about a little bit what we did in the last video. If you have your book, you can find this in paragraph 5 of chapter 2. So it will be advisable to take your book in front of you and to look into the book about what we're actually talking about in this video. Yes, it's paragraph 1, chapter 2, part 5. Take it in front of you. We'll be very smart to do that. What is the learning outcome? We talked about identify, norms. We all did that a little bit. And we're now talking about laws, actually. Talking about laws. What norms again? Social customs are the social normal ways in which people behave, comporta, and they lead to a standard of behavior, comportación. Yeah, this behavior is accepted by most people. They agree about that. And these are known as norms. So saying bon dia or ayo temayanko dias que, these are norms. Yeah, and these norms can differ per society and per country. Yes, an example of a norm is the way in which we behave, and the norm leads to conformity because if you behave as the group wants, you are more likely to be accepted. Yeah? So the norms lead to a certain degree of conformity. If you behave according to the norms, you have less chance of clashes and you have more chance of being accepted. And that is what people want. So conformity and norms are about control, they are about behavior, they are about comportación, they are about the law, in which we're going to talk more in a few minutes, and they are about rules. Rules and law are similar, but not exactly the same, of course. And they're also about the norm, but we're talking about a little bit more right now. So also actually about the norm that we are talking about at this very moment. Yes? So the norm, very important word, which we talked about during the last video, actually. We talked about that. And also it is about society, and society are all the people that form the people in a country. It's a society of the country, all kinds of young men, young women, old women, people from different backgrounds, people speaking different languages, all form part of one society. Yes, and we're not talking, for instance, about the society of Curaçao, of course, but we can also talk about the society of the Netherlands, or society of Venezuela, or the society of Aruba, or the society of the United States, or the society of Statia. Yeah, those are all societies where conformity and the norm are very important concepts. The norm in all of those societies, adapting to the norm, is something that happens every day. But norms are different in different countries, of course. Well, some norms are folkways. These would include greetings and saying please as we ask for something and saying thank you. They are like not written down as a law. Yeah, you're not going to get a fine if you don't listen to them, but they are social graces and they make everything walk smoothly. They are customs amongst most of the people. Like I said in the last video, Temayang Kudioske. Those are folkways, those are social graces. And often these folkways cover unspoken communication, such as a handshake or a box, where some guys see each other, like we give each other a box and do like this, or holding celebrations to mark a birthday or even a wedding. So traditions, celebrations are also like folkways. A person who ignores a folkway, something that is tradition, may be considered rude or ill-mannered. But you have to forget, perhaps this person is born in another country and that doesn't know the folkway. There may be some social pressure for that person to, and here we have it again, to conform. So if you don't conform, if you don't listen to the folkways, there may be pressure from other people to conform yourself, to adapt yourself to the ways that are normal in that country. So conformism, here we see it again, very important word. So other folkways cover unspoken communication. En de nota papier to kante ezekita unspoken, such as a handshake. If you do not behave yourself, in accordance with these folkways, there can be social pressure for that person to conform to the folkways, to the things that are like tradition. Like doing a box, or like they do in South America, point at something, it's over there. Point at something, for instance, in some Mediterranean and Eastern Europe or Middle Eastern cultures is very customary, North African, for two men, when they greet each other, they give them 3 kisses on the cheeks. And when you are in that country, there is social pressure to conform to the norm. And it is mostly unspoken. You don't talk about this. But there's social pressure to conform to this. You don't talk about it, but the pressure, you do feel it, you have to conform. So there's pressure to conform to the norm. There are certain expectations from society, social pressure. And you see the guy in the corner experiencing the social pressure with all the post-its everywhere on his face to conform. So this person here, he actually feels the pressure, the social pressure to actually conform. Norms, expectations, society. You see them on the post-its that you see here. Expectation, norms, society. Some people doubt about it. Some people are discriminate about it. And all of these expectations, this social pressure, is experienced actually by this person, and he has to conform. He has to conform in the way he behaves because of the social pressure he or she experiences. He is expected to conform the norms, the expectations, and society gives him social pressure. Pression social is put upon him. Now further, norms that deal with serious moral issues. Remember, we talked about this word before, talking about good and evil, talking about good and bad, are known as mores. So norms, expected behavior that deal with serious moral issues about good and evil and right and wrong are known as mores. And these tend to reflect the society's values, banonan, and they are agreed upon in society. And they are an agreed understanding of what is right and wrong, what is moral. Some mores we find so important that we make laws out of this. So some of these mores we find so important that we make laws out of this within a country. They're written down and they become official laws. When this happens, the mores are officially recognized as defining that society. They're written down, and this, they say, is what a society is all about, as defining what is acceptable in that society. They are agreed upon, and they write it down. For example, this happens in parliament. When there is a majority or mayoría, nos parlamento, they can make new laws. Dus our parliament has 21 seats, zetels, and when there is a majority, purata un mayoría din los parlamento, 10 ta mayoría, then we can make new laws in our parliament, and it becomes something recognized that is part of our law system. For example, society generally agrees that violent behavior is not acceptable. And not acceptable, we can also say it like unacceptable. So within society, we say violent behavior, comportación violenta, no acceptable. Violent behavior is not acceptable. This is what our society says about this. All norms work towards promoting social control. All norms work towards creating social control and reflect the society's values. They reflect the society's values, actually. I'm shifting it because of the sun. Sorry, guys. These are the society has agreed upon it. These are the things we find important. These are the things we find very, very important. These are by the acuerdo. Es sociedad aquí, by the acuerdo es aquí. Yeah, da nos valornan. Yes, these are the ideas and principles that a society feels, Sinti, are important and help to determinar what is felt as being right and wrong, or good or bad. Remember that we're saying these are moral issues, being right and wrong and good and bad. And they, by the acuerdo de sociedad, tocante en nos valornan, and they put them into laws. What's right and wrong, put them into laws. There are our values concerning right and wrong and good or bad. Yes, so nos valornan, they go through parliament and we put them into laws. Those are the mores that we find most important. Nos valornan, the things we find important. I hope this video was very helpful and we talked about the norms, the laws, and our values. I talked a little bit more about the norms. We continued about the laws, and probably I will return to them during the next video. Again, if you want to ring the bell below, please do that. If you have a question, please ask the question below, but also ask questions during class at the beginning or at the ending. You might have to wait for a few seconds because I have probably a lot of things to do, but I will also always do my best to answer your question. Yes, and this video was about norms, values, and my next video will be about attitudes and values. And again, we talked about laws and norms. I hope to see you in part 3 of a video of 3 videos that will be about attitudes and values, and will contain a little bit callback about laws and of course norms. Enjoy your day, and I hope to see you soon during class. Goodbye.